भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन रचिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणे भगवते अष्टादशाध्यायिने अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते
Verse 57.
Yeah.
Resorting to Karma Yoga, may your mind always be with me. चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्ध्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्त सततं भव. Chetasa, mentally, sarva-karmani, all actions, mayi sannyasa, renouncing unto me, matparaha, son, being
Matparaha, son means doing that. Son is generally an expression like is.
Being the one whose end is myself, buddhi yoga, a life of karma yoga, upasritya, resorted to.
Upasritya.
Upasritya, resorting to, satadam, always, machita, the one whose mind is in me, bhava, may you become. Being one whose end is in myself, mentally renouncing all actions unto me, resorting to a life of karma yoga, may you become one whose mind is always in me.
See, this is very similar to that 11th chapter, last sloka, before the Bhakti Yoga, the 12th chapter starts. There, elaborate explanation also was given that this is a Sangati Vakya for the next chapter, Bhakti. So Bhagavan says, Mat karma krita, mat param, mat bhakta, sarva varjitaha, then nirvairinaha, sarva bhuteshu, then ya sa mam yeti pandava. He tells, person who is able to submit all his karma to me meaning aham or Ishvara, either way, the sense to the truth, to the reality, everything is in one reality. So, to Bhagavan, easy way to do that is like your puja and all temple, everything unto Bhagavan, mat karma krita, mat param, mat bhakta. By doing that, I surrender, I renounce. Here he says renounce, there he says surrender. So mat bhakta, once you are there, then you have no sangha varjitaha, you have no attachment towards anything, not nirvaininaha, you don't have any raga or dvesha with anyone. It is what you are supposed to be in the temple also. At the temple, any congregation, a rich man can come, a poor man can come, your own family enemy can come, some friend can come. Still, at the temple, all of us are one. Everyone is surrendering unto Bhagavan. So once you do that, Saya Mamyeti, everyone is coming to me only. Pandava, there he says. Here also something similar is. Here he is talking about Karma Yoga, there it was Bhakti Yoga. So as far as both are surrendering unto Bhagavan or surrendering unto the truth, so whether you call it renunciation or Bhakti, either it's one and the same. That is where Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, there is no differentiation between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga as far as Gita is concerned. Because Bhakti also what? You are doing something, but with a yoga attitude. There Karma Yoga means even like Sarva Karma, in the sense there, what you call Yata Pravritti Bhutana Mena Sarvam Sukarmana Tam Abhyarchya. The sense, the entire life also is only Archana to Bhagavan. So even Laukika, Vedika life, anywhere out also, is only a Archana, meaning it's only a Bhakti. Basically, you are doing, instead of doing Archana with Pushpam Param, you are doing Archana with your work. Whatever you are supposed to do, you are doing Archana to that extent possible. That is an Archana in Bhagavan. So that is why Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are one and the same only. This verse is very similar to that 11th chapter end, which you can go through that. Yeah.
Arjuna is advised, may you become one whose mind is always with me, Machitaha Satatam Bhava. Certain minds are not in Parameswara at all. For others, the mind is in Parameswara occasionally, on certain days like Friday or Sunday, and at certain times like morning and evening. In those moments of prayer, the mind is committed to Ishvara, but not otherwise. Here, Krishna is asking Arjuna to be one whose mind is always with me. What does this mean? Should he never have any other thought other than that of Parameswara? How can he always think of Ishvara and go about doing his work?
Yeah. See, instead of our asking, he himself is asking the question.
It is possible only when he appreciates that everything, the whole Jagat, is Ishvara. Then doing anything or not doing anything, he never misses Ishvara. Mentally renounce all your actions unto me. Krishna says, Chetasa, by the mind one should renounce all actions. What kind of mind does he talk about? Shankara says, it is a mind that has discrimination, viveka. Activities have two different types of results, seen, drishta, as well as unseen, adrishta. When you do charity, for instance, there is a visible result in the form of satisfaction you get, and an unseen result called punya, which will manifest as something desirable later. Similarly, when you perform a ritual or offer daily prayers, there is the immediate result of antakarana suddhi, your composure and acceptance of whatever has happened, giving a free degree of freedom from raga deshas. Then whether you want it or not, there is punya accrued as a result of those actions. Some karmas are done for the purpose of an immediate result, like antakarana siddhi, and some are done for a result that is to be realized later, like heaven. All these actions, sarva karmani, are to be offered to Ishvara with a proper attitude. Lord Krishna says, mentally renouncing all actions unto me. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya.
Sanyasya.
That is the proper attitude. Sanyasya. That is the proper attitude. Previously he had said, whatever you do it as an offering to me. Yat karoshi tat kurushva madarpanam. Gita 9.27. Because something represents itself to be done by you, therefore you do it. This is Ishvara's order. The very fact that you are placed in a given situation which calls for an action on your part means that you are caught in the fabric of Ishvara. To appreciate this fact, that the action which you have got to do is enjoined by Ishvara is not an ordinary thing. If you analyze it, you will find that any inevitability is nothing but Ishvara. In common parlance, there is an expression, man proposes, God disposes, or whatever happens is said to be Ishvara's will, Ishvarecha.
So this is basically the difference. One is apart from doing it with the doing it in accordance with dharma. See, dharma is also Ishvara. There is no separate Ishvara other than dharma. Dharma is Ishvara. So as long as you are doing in accordance with the dharma, like whatever you are according to the situation, do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. That sort of a thing. What I am expected to do to others, and what I expect them to do, the same way if I do, that yoga karmasu kaushalam, that itself is Ishvara. Because dharma and karma both are on the, what you call, two sides of the same coin, and Dharma is Ishvara. At one place, Bhagavan has told Dharma is Ishvara. So, you don't have to separately bring in Ishvara whenever you are doing any work. As long as you are doing what is appropriate, that is automatically Ishvara. Because you, as he rightly said, you cannot be thinking about Ishvara and doing work, because it may definitely distract. So it looks like it is okay with reference to puja, like rituals and all that. There it is, that is basically the whole Shastra talks about karma means only Vaidika karma, rituals or puja or whatever. But if you are going to take into account Lauki karma like office and all that, there you cannot be bringing in Ishvara as a Upasika, Upasana Murti and all that. We interview. But if you do in accordance with Dharma, according to the situation, what is appropriate to the given situation, Swamiji's whatever famous words, appropriate to the given situation, if you do, that is Ishvara Arpana. So automatically you are doing in line, you are in accordance with Ishvara Dharma and all that, then it is Karma Yoga. Even your office work, if you do it in accordance with Dharma, without transgressing Dharma, that is Karma Yoga only. But you must be aware of that. You should not be doing it for the sake of doing it for office and all that. You must be aware that my life I am living in the, like the Mat Karosi, like what Tat Kurusha Madarpanam, whatever he says, that 9.27, whatever he spoke, whatever I do, Tat Kurusha Madarpanam, like you must be in the back of the mind, you must know when I do in accordance with Dharma, it is equivalent to offering puja. Yata pravritti bhutanam yena sarvam itam tadam Swakarmana tam abhyarche siddhim vindadima. The Swakarmana tam abhyarche is Swadharma. Whatever you are supposed to do is an archana to Bhagavan. So that you must be able to bring in that bhavana. That bhavana will convert into bhava, your reality at some point in time. That will happen. That you don't have to force it on you. As long as you live like that, it automatically moves into that. And along with that, you will be studying, because that is why, because of the study only you have that attitude. The yoga buddhi itself is because you have got a mumukshutvam. You have got to want to understand your freedom. In the sense, here and now I must be able to live a free life, not all the time complaining life. I want to be free as a person. I want to be free as a human being. I should not be I should be on top of the situation. Being on top of the situation is not making money or comfort and all that. Being on top of the situation is to be a free person. Internally, you must be free. And so that is the objective with which you started. That is why you are studying, so that you can understand what are all the facets involved in life, wherein I may get drawn to bhoga and roga and greed and all that. Instead, I will keep myself on the right side of that freedom, like having that balanced mind, that apramatta, the space between my self and my ragadvesha, body, mind, senses, all those afflictions. I will retain, I will be alert to that. So with that attitude, if you live your life, regular life, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, then automatically it will be an archana. And that will also impel you, give you that space inside, a calmness, then automatically you will go for meditation. Even when you are in puja and all, you will be more meditative rather than in Nevedyam, in Prasadam, the mind will be more in tune with spending time very qualitatively with Bhagavan. So thus automatically that will happen. Because anyway we are all doing puja or something or other. So everybody, as I said, even Sandhya Vandanam, you will feel nicely about when you do Gayatri. All that it will be in line with your thinking, as well as your attitude, as well as your study. So that way all slowly everything will fall in place. And more you will find the internal leisure to contemplate and all that. So that is how it will move. The life has to move in that direction, distinct from the karma to karma yoga. That is what he is trying to say in so many ways. He is trying to tell us. Shankara as well as Swamiji. Yeah.
Swamiji, see, I'm just asking because I have this doubt always. When we recite Bhagavatam or Narayaniyam, certain places, they say you must do this Nevidyam and then start the next chapter. And on the Nevidyam, it will be specific to that. Like, suppose we recite Krishna Avataram, then something like the Navanitam, the element. milk, butter, then curd, and sometimes some sweet also. So they say that if you do that, it is good, definitely. But then when you recite and when you're how they present it is, they say when you recite it, you recite with all your focus, and so now Krishna is there, born before you, so you must give him all that. So we should do that Naivedyam. But sometimes I feel that some obstructs that flow of.
Yeah, that is why, it is
Recitation.
become Manasa Pujas, like Shiva Manasa Puja. Like I was telling, the other day, that the Rishi was building a temple in the mind. The same way you can do, the offering can be Manasa. Can be Manasa. In the sense, if you are so intense, it all depends on why we do all that is a bhavana. In the sense, the Pratima is there and you are bringing in the bhavana by offering the Naivedyam in physical form, so that Kayena Vacha Manasa Indriya. Why all the three? The bhavana gets reinforced when you do it all the three. But if you have already the bhavana, you have been doing it for many years, but you want to keep the flow of thought and continue with the chanting or the bhavana, want to reinforce, you can even monetarily do that. So you don't have to go tell I'm doing it like that.
No,
but you
but
can do
when
it.
we are-
Sometimes you are in a position, somebody is around and they make it and keep
when we are in a
reinforce
group only,
that
I'm saying.
bhavana, you can allow them to do it. Don't say no. But at the same time, when you are alone, you don't have time or whatever reason, you do it as manasa. Like even we don't know, Ratna Simhasanam Aksharan Samarpyami.
No, I'm talking group only.
So we say Aksharan
yes.
Samarpyami. Only that when it comes to Bhadyar, you cannot say Dakshinartham Aksharan Samarpyami. That's all. That only should not do. Otherwise, it's okay.
நான் கேட்டதே when you இந்த மாதிரி குரூப்ல, that's why nowadays I don't go at all, because in the group when then
Somebody
after
offering
they
time,
do
let them do that.
Naivedyam,
You don't disturb them. You don't have to do like that. You don't have to say. But if you are alone, you can do it. Yeah, those things. It's all purely for bhavana. Bhavana da. It's not that.
yeah, but they do the Naivedyam and then they start distributing it immediately.
Yeah, those things actually
So
you can
all
avoid.
that, so after that again you start.
கடைசியில பண்ணிக்கலாம் distribution.
Ah.
Don't disturb. Naivedya பண்ணி சைடுல வச்சுட்டு. That's what. Actually, it's always better. The idea is the bhavana. The emphasis should be on the bhavana rather than the ritual part of it. That is where the problem is. The whole thing is become, and also I have seen people very devoted, but all the time running inside the temple, looking at the nook corner for this and that. They forget the bhavana part of it at all. That is unfortunate. That is why that's all. In the sense you are putting the horse behind the cart. It's a problem.
But someone has to do the organization, right, Swamiji, for bhajan?
Yeah, that is true. That's true. But that is why I am telling you should not make it too very elaborate.
Yes.
Like what she was telling. So much
some
particular
people-
about Naivedyam
most of
and
them
all
do
that.
it.
Nowadays,
Bhavane Chulirgar, Pushpam Payam, as long as your bhavana is correct. Idea is to Kayena, the Naivedyam basically is meant for you are reinforcing the bhavana. But you in the process you will lose the bhavana. What is the point? That is important. So that is why you have to play all these things over a period of time. The karma. That is why so much here it's okay Gita, but in all Upanishads and all Shankara is very vehement. Karma and jnana, it is like oil and water. It will never mix. Jnana karma samuchaya is totally prohibited, especially in Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam, it is purely jnanam. So, karma yoga, and jnanam. That in the sense, karma should be done as yoga and then move into jnanam. More and more you move into jnanam and contemplative, then this upasana, even the upasana, japa, mala and all have to come down. Everything has to come down and you spend more time you spend in silence. Silence, you must be able to be with yourself, just be, the very most important thing, contemplative. And even japa and all that you don't have to do, kayena and vacha, even vacha you don't have, manasikam. Puja manasikam, like that you must move into. There should be a way, like you should move into that. As you grow older, you must be able to move into that. And you are energetic in order to what you call dissipate your energy, distraction from other worldly activities. You get involved in temple activities, ritual activities. There, kayana vacha and all may be required so that your energy is focused on Bhagavan. But later, as you grow older, you should be more and more contemplative rather than there again we are trying to all the time worrying about anxious about the bhakshanam and naivedyam. As you get older, it's difficult also. It is naturally Bhagavan has kept it like that. All your other faculties will come down. Only your மானசீகமா பூஜை பண்ணிட்டு கான்டெம்ப்ளேட்டிவா இருக்கிறதுக்கு தான் உனக்கு ஃபேக்கல்டி இருக்கும். Bhagavan has made it that way, but we work against that. After retirement, we become very energetic in temple puja and all that. Those things have to come down actually. That is very important.
It is also sometimes when we go to some place, Swamiji, assuming that it will be a very calm place, sometimes especially I had been to Mahapariva temple in Mylapore thinking that okay, one day I had gone, people are meditating on the end and everything. So I thought okay, let me go meditate for some time. New temple has been erupted, everything. They were doing bhajans, a lot of sound.
So celebration.
I came back home.
Celebration is an outlet. Something is, you are not comfortable inside. Then you celebrate, you bring in the celebration also. All that has to be. Every day is a celebration. You have to celebrate life rather than specifically doing things for celebration. But you cannot. This is depending on. You have to appreciate those things internally and do it. You cannot go and tell the world, don't do that. Okay. Just be comfortable to come away, that's all. Spend some time with Bhagavan and come away.
And one question in Sandhya Vandanam, Swamiji. After, see, when we do Nitya Karma in the morning, we do with all Asavaditya Brahma, Brahmayavasmi Aham, like we do that, and we do Gayatri Javam, and then we say Krishna, 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 and we prostrate and finish. Actually, in the Sandhya Vandanam book, they specifically say the Sandhya Vandanam is for that period of, say, for example, இன்னைக்கு சாயந்தரம் 7 மணிக்கு பண்ணியிருக்கேன், அடுத்து நான் காலையில் 6 மணிக்கு பண்ணுறேன்னா அந்த 7லேருந்து 6 மணிக்குள்ளே பண்ணுற பாவங்களுக்கு வந்து I'm just talking from a general perspective. அதுக்கு வந்து when you do it, you get refreshed basically from your side. Now, from this perspective, that is from the learning perspective that we are learning right now, what is it that you say, Swamiji? Because we already went through that, but after reading that, little bit of confusion is there for me. It's not like பாவம் பண்ணிட்டு பாவத்துக்கு புண்ணியத்தை எடுத்துக்க we do something else.
No, it's not like that.
It is more like a bhavana.
பாவம் புண்ணியம் அதெல்லாம் வந்து அப்படிதான்.
Not பாவம் புண்ணியம்.
It's all a matrix given to you so that initially to attract you to do meticulously without skipping. So it is told for a person who doesn't understand. But once a person understanding what it is karma, karma yoga and all that, nitya karma, naimittika karma also is done only purely for Antakarana Shuddhi. Only Antakarana Shuddhi, so that you can, it's only in the sense, absolutely only for Drishtapalam, not Adrishtapalam. Okay. Nitya karma, naimitya karma is supposed to give you only Drishtapalam, no Adrishtapalam. As you do it with understanding, your mind is gets what you call Antakarana Shuddhi, and you are ready for the study and whatever work you do as Karma Yoga. Purely Karma Yoga is only Antakarana, Drishtapalam only. Okay. Because Adrishtapalam, you are not looking for what you call Swarga and all that. You are looking as a Mumukshu, you are converting karma into Karma Yoga. Mumukshu is freedom here and now, not Amutra. Yeah. So, question of Punya Bhavam doesn't come at all. Punya Bhavam is again, finally it is only a matrix to keep the people sane till the time they understand. Otherwise, Bhayam Irtha Panuangarthakosam or matrix. Matrix itself is, Srishti itself is only a Prakriya. That is the question of.
அதே மாதிரி this small clarification you made on this office work பண்ணும்போது put your mind on me, Krishna just said no in the previous paragraph. Doing office work we will get impacted, as you said, analytical work, say regulatory reporting, you will get impacted. But one thing I found, Swamiji, while doing that work also, before we start, we say Krishna Krishna Krishna, and then we do as we progress in the work and we get stuck, when we say Krishna, 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 something will pop up in your
Yeah, there is a
mind.
prayer, prayerful attitude. You are, in the sense, you are alert to the all that is here is Ishvara. There is always the next factor. You are giving a value to the X factor. That is fine. That is fine. Whenever you are literally or you are stuck with something, rather than keep on just take a time off and go for that. Say some prayer. Also come back and continue. All that is possible. But this idea is that whatever you do, you are doing Ishwararpanam. It's not you have to separately chant or something while interfering with the work. That's not needed. Because that is what is practical. That's what Swamiji is very keen on telling you that. Yeah.
Have me as your only end.
Because
Have me as your only end. This
No,
person.
no. This has to be understood properly.
This has to be understood properly from that.
yeah.
This has to be understood properly. It is not that God goes about deciding something to happen to you. He is not going to decide about the headache you may get tomorrow. It is the law that is Ishvara. Ishvarecha implies your own past karma, and that law of karma, law of dharma, which brings about a given result, is not merely mechanical. It is a manifestation of Ishvara, the conscious being. Any inevitable situation is Ishvarecha, and once you understand that, you do whatever the situation calls for. It is a part of the whole colossal yajna of the cosmos, in which there is a constant flux of creation, sustenance and dissolution. The creation is something like a boiling pot of water. You find an arrangement of bubbles that keeps on changing, but it is all very logical. One bubble is big, another is small, one has burst already, the another is just breaking up. There is logic that determines why a bubble is here now, why one is big or small, etc. They all follow some laws which perhaps we may not have decoded, not yet decoded. We are like bubbles. Each one has to do certain things at a certain time, and this is Ishvarecha. When the called for actions are done with a mind that has this appreciation, it is an offering to Ishvara. Have me as your only end. So, Ishvarecha only, that's what it means we are telling, right?
Yeah,
Just
doing
now.
appropriate action is Ishvarecha, and it comes, even whatever fructifies, it comes as an propelling you to act, even that is because of your past karma. Past karma in the sense, why? Because the problem is, it is all ultimately, one is the prakriya. Prakriya is a methodology where you say, where they say, as you sow, so you reap and all that. See, as you sow, so you reap can be explained to an intelligent mind as a okay, well, you are responsible for your karma. That way you can explain. It's a methodology. But in reality also, even without the prakriya methodology, keeping it aside, the whole thing is happening in one being. And it is continuously mutating, changing. And the changing is not out of logic. It is with logic. And it is the same being. There is no second. So, continuously, like what they say, no, in science also, matter and energy are mutually, there is no dissipation. Matter gets converted into energy, energy gets converted into matter. So automatically, when a small an atom which has got so many protons and all that, all held together by a lot of energy, once you disturb it, that energy will come out automatically. So matter getting converted into energy. So it's all logically happening. But you have not decoded it. So whatever is coming, fructifying and as an action point for you, it is a contiguous thing, a result of something happened somewhere. You might have initiated certain things that has come as an action to be taken by you. So you don't have to go too much into that logic. But one is a methodology of explanation. The other is even without explaining, when we know very well that we are talking about this particular understanding that Atma, Brahman, everything is one being, changeless is the reality. Even the changing is happening because of the blessings of the changeless. Like Desa Kala Vastu Parichinam, when you say singularity is how it all started. From that, time and space and all everything comes, and everything is offshoot of that singularity. So naturally, nothing can be out of logic. So that even logically, without going into a methodology, you must be able to look at, appreciate anything that happens to you right now. You must be able to say it's all part of the order. It's all part. It is all very much. You should not have any even iota of doubt. Why this is happening to me? That question itself is invalid. It has to happen because it is in the order. Whether it is good or bad or ugly or whatever it is. That way, that appreciation will take the focus out of you in terms of christening it as good or bad. See, the problem is first we give it a name, good and bad. Then you fret over it. You don't call it good and bad. Just take it as a situation, not as a problem. Or not as some great achievement. Either way. So, if you don't do that, if you don't give that naming and shaming, you will have to only face the situation. And keep facing it, keep doing it. And then there is no Puchapulanga in my life. You all the time you are already all the time in the Prajna of Ishvara. You are playing the role in the Ishvara's order. The whole thing is one unity in diversity, one unity, unified singularity of being. That is what we are talking about. Atma, Brahman, Ishvara, all that are one reality. That is why the yajna is going. That is why even the outside world, whatever you are doing is only an yajna. Not only when you are sitting in puja. The whole life is only yajna. The 4th chapter itself Bhagavan has told, no? Like ocean, land, water, mela, then pair, life cycle. The life cycle is a yajna. It is happening. The whole world is only, if you can able to look at the whole thing as Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi as a yajna, then everything is puja only. Whole. What is Laukikam, what is Vaidikam, so all now we have to, initially we do with all that because so that we, till the time we understand, as we understand, we must be able to look at the whole thing as one yajna. That's what he is saying. Whole thing as one yajna. Ishvara is not Ishvara's order. He says Ishvara is order. There is no sitting in Ishvara sitting and giving karma diksha and karma pala data. No. It's the order itself is Ishvara. So when all that is here is Ishvara, when you say you are very much Ishvara, and the only person you can appreciate Ishvara is only you, not the plants and animals. So you are the person who are going to appreciate that reality. So the whole thing is, you don't have to really, over a period of time, you can take that sting out of the whole life in terms of looking for something achievement, something celebration, something bad, something mourning, all that opposite. You just have to slowly move out. Of course, you don't have to go out and tell the world, but you have to maintain your voice wherever you are. Even if you have suppose you are going on the road, okay, you are going on the road and opposite la Vayankrama speed la two-wheeler with 3-4 people sitting on it and coming. What do you do immediately? Pray. Immediately you pray. That's all. Instead of telling them what nonsense this fellows are doing. Other than that, which you cannot do anything about it, what is the point in fretting and fuming? Pray for them. Destination. So that is the sense. That way everything becomes Ishvara Arpanam and Ishvara Prasad. Really, I tell you, Swamiji used to say,
No, Swamiji, when you drive the car,
traffic makes you more, makes you think of Bhagavan all the time.
No, it is not. See, somebody going, when you drive the car, somebody suddenly comes in.
Yeah, all those things. Immediately, I know a lot of people, immediately they will curse.
That's
The
why
fellow
they all
who has
do
done
that.
it. What is the point in cursing? You will get your agony only, your temperature, blood pressure goes up. Rather than that, pray. Immediately you pray. Pray for him. That will work. Definitely work well for him. And your temperature also will remain. You will be cool. Both ways it benefits him also as well as you. And also these small things if you do, that is mat karma krita. That is mat parama mat bhakta. That way you are a bhakta. Rama Rama, Murha Murha, something immediately. First thing must say Rama Rama, Murha Murha cholano. Then automatically your temperature comes down.
Have me as your only end. This person, Krishna says, is Matparaha, the one from whom Ishvara is paramount. The one for whom Ishvara is paramount. Ishvara is the only end for him, nothing else. He does not use Ishvara as an accomplice for gaining smaller ends. Not that there is anything wrong with making use of Ishvara's grace for the purpose of getting some small result. A person who does so is also a devotee, a Ratharthi. But here we are talking about a Jignasu, one who wants Ishvara's grace not to gain some small end but to gain Ishvara. Being one for whom Ishvara is the end, he has no other refuge but Ishvara. Krishna says taking refuge, Upashritya, in a life of Karma Yoga, here is called Buddhi Yoga. May you become one whose mind is always resolved in me, Machittaha Satatam Bhava. Not in the morning or in the evening, but always surrendered at the feet of Bhagavan. Karma Yoga is a life of surrender, a religious life. Ishvara has to be accepted and therefore there is no secular Karma Yoga. When you want to accomplish things without Ishvara, you create a lot of unnecessary pressure because you are taking charge of things that you are not capable of controlling. When you make yourself responsible for things for which you are not responsible at all, you build up pressure and invite problems. In the beginning, you may enjoy some success, but later you will suffer a breakdown. In Karma Yoga, efficiency is natural because you are free from anxiety. When there is no pressure, all your faculties are available to you because you do not spend your time worrying about what will happen. You just do what you can do. Real efficiency is not perfection, it is the availability of the total person. All your faculties, your emotion, your mind, senses and skills are available for the task at hand. And the fact that what is available is limited is not a problem. Everybody has limited powers, but the limited powers you have are at your disposal because you are using them for making an effort, for making an offering to Ishvara. There is no question of your not being efficient, but it is not right to define Karma Yoga as efficiency in work.
Yeah, so that is the problem. People look at it, you read Bhagavad Gita, you become efficient. So that is how people sell, the marketing Bhagavad Gita. Not necessary. See, it is only an avantara phalam, a corollary consequence, that's all. But your understanding, your focus, Karma Yoga is to have an internal infrastructure wherein jnana becomes possible. So that Buddhi Yoga is meant for Brahma Vidya. So Brahma Vidyayam, what is that? Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastra.
Yoga Shastra.
So Yoga Shastra is for Brahma Vidya. That should be the. So what is the viveksha of Gita is important. Not what you want to draw from it. You can draw so many things from it. That is not important. What is the viveksha? What Gita is trying? Brahma Vidya through Karma Yoga. That is what we should look at. Yeah.
Karma Yoga is purely a religious life, so there is no Karma Yoga without devotion. Shankara says Buddhi Yoga is a firm resolve of the mind. As we saw in 2nd chapter, 107, Gita 2.41. The one who has discovered that moksha is the only Purushartha has a mind that is resolute, while the other, who has not properly ascertained this end, has a mind that is fragmented. If the end is not clear, the ends are endless. And if the end is very clear, the only project I have is fixing up myself so that I can understand my identity with Ishvara.
Vyavasayatmika buddhi here.
Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekaiha Guru Nandana. Like that. Ekaiha. Vyavasayatmika buddhi, the vivekam should be perfect. Like ekaiha Guru Nandana means there is only one. There is only one reality. Since there is no like what you call other Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and then the final Purushartha is Moksha. No. Every Purushartha subsists only Moksha. Even Dharma, Artha, Kama we start with because we don't, at that time we didn't understand. What we are looking for is freedom. Even when you do Dharma or Kama, that I told, no, that I lack and that I want. You want to get rid of that, not what I lack and what I want. What I lack and what I want is endless.
Yes.
That is what Karta and Kama. Endlessly you will be following Attan. By doing this I will become free. By doing this I will become free. By doing this I will become. But once you understand, my reality is that I lack and that I want is not my reality. I don't lack anything. That once you understand, that is moksha, that is freedom. Once you understand that, then moksha is the only purushartha. That is what he is telling here. The second chapter, that particular Vyavasayatmika buddhi, ekeha gurudana. That is a discretion. Vyavasayatmika, absolute discretion. Must be clear. Nitya, anitya, vastu viveka. Not dharma, adharma, vastu viveka. Dharma, adharma, you start with. Finally, nitya, anitya, vastu viveka. Dharma and adharma for what? You want freedom. That is why Kathopanishad he says, dharma tanyat, adharma tanyat. That what? Nitya, nitya, nitya vastu. Tell me nitya vastu, he says. So must move into that. Dharma, artha, kama we start with. Later we move into, once you understand moksha is the parama purushartha, other actually is not the only purushartha. It is not parama purushartha. It is only purushartha. Other things subsist. Whatever I do, whatever I do, life is only yajna, like a karma yoga. So all subsisting it ensures my freedom in my thinking, my approach, a calm disposition, chittam, all the values, amanitvam, madamitam, himsa, shanti, all those values form, give me a apramatta, sort of a balance, a chitta prasannata, a cheerful disposition. Once you have a cheerful disposition without getting disturbed in any situation, automatically you will be able to spend time, you will like to be the owner of the cheerful disposition all the time. That is freedom. And what is it? This is what is going to tell. Shastra is going to tell. Second chapter, if you go through again and again, you will say that you are done. Life is made. Entire 20 verses, if you are making it as part of your life, then your life is made. Because there is no second thing. That's what he says. That whole Prajahati yata kaman sarvan partha manogata atmani atmana tushtaha stita prajnastu uchyate. So the Prajahati yata kaman sarvan partha manogatan is your life, work, both Vaidika and Laukika. It is something like a movie. Prajahati yata kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Keep on mindless thoughts on there, you will keep on acting, and some further thoughts, that's all going on, be going on. But you will know very well, it's like a movie only. I am the bright screen in which all these things are happening. So, Atmani Atmana Tushtaha, I will be the bright screen. I will not get that. That's what the Nissangaha, Sangavarjita, Nirvairinam. Sarva Bhuteshu, Sa Mam, yes, Sa Mamyeti Pandava. Once a person is able to live like that, he comes to me only. No, me only means Aham only, basically. There is no me other than, there is no Ishvara other than Aham. So you will remain happy person, cheerful person all the time. So that is what we are trying to do. Yeah.
Everything is for that purpose, and therefore everything has a purpose. No matter what it takes, no matter how many years it takes, does not matter. The resolution, the commitment is to moksha as the end, and therefore karma becomes yoga. If one's mind is always resolved in Ishvara, then what happens?
Verse 58. By placing your mind in me, you will cross all difficulties. Matchitta sarva durgani matprasadatta rishyasi ata chetvam ahankaram nasosyati vinakshasi. Maschittaha. Son, being one whose mind is always in me, mat prasadat, because of my grace, sarva durgani, all difficulties, tarishyasi, you will cross, ataschet, but if ahankarat, because of egotism, tvam, you, nasroshyasi, do not listen, vinakshasi, you will perish. Being one whose mind is always in me, you will cross all difficulties because of my grace. If because of egotism you do not listen to me, you will perish. Durga means that which is difficult to cross. A mountain peak or narrow passage which is difficult to negotiate is called Durga. It is something that can be traversed only with great difficulty. Shankara says it is the cause of samsara. These are the karmas which create punya papa that cause new births. They are born of a sense of agency, katritva, which itself is born of ignorance, ajnana, all of which are very difficult to cross. But being one who is committed to a life of karma yoga, one will cross all these things which are difficult to cross. Sarva durgani tarisyasi. If you do not listen to me, you will
basically
perish.
what he also says is the kartrutva. See, the aham karta, aham bhokta, that itself will reduce once you start living life as a karma yoga. So because every time whatever you are doing is part of the order, it's all like even whatever that comes, it fructifies as an action point to you, it itself is part of the prarabdha, it's part of the order. Once you do that, everything is in the order, it's all in Ishvara Sannidhanam. Once that is there, that you are only what? Nimitta matram bhava sabhisachi. This you are playing your part, you are not doing. You are playing your part is very different, that attitude is very different compared to saying that I am doing. Once you say I am doing, then automatically the approval comes to you. Because there is an I, the ego. That in sense, the problem is, see, it is because it is the prakriya, there is a papa, punya and all that, we think that papa, punya occurs to me because of my identification with the body, mind and all the karma, I become responsible and all that. But in reality, there is, as I've been always telling, in reality there is only one truth. In that only everything is happening. In the packet, in the packet. What is the sukha, dukkha and all that? Whole thing is from this packet to that. There is only one being. Once that appreciation itself is there, that aham karta, aham bhokta, it will lose that sting. That I am the enjoyer, I am doing the bhavana pedum. Should slowly reduce. Then nimitta matram, you are already playing a role. And then automatically the apramatta will come, the distance, the space between you and the role. Like even, we have discussed that Amitabh Bachchan playing the role of a beggar. So, the same play, he is playing 1,100 roles, Vishwarupa, like the 10 roles he is playing. All the 10 roles are very exactly opposite each role. But he is not affected because he has that distance between that A is not B but B is A. So likewise, whatever is happening, that you are karta aham but aham na karta. Like that, everything is happening. In my presence, everything is happening. Once you do that, then automatically what you call, see this sarva durgani tarishyasi. This durgangra oru component varadu. Durgana anartham, you have that attachment. I have done it, I have to enjoy it. And the sting poidutuna, where is the question of Durga? Durgave illena, tarishyasi is only aupacharika. It is only upacharam.
Yes.
There is no tarishyasi, there is nothing to cross. So that way we should go for. The problem is we have all this, even to some extent because of our own Shastra, a lot of things are told, put in our head like punyam, papam and all that. We keep on trying to accumulate punya and all that. Then you feel I am the karta, I have to do this, I have to do that. So that I have to do this means ego again. Even in Vedic karma, Lokika karma, ego gets elevated. Whereas once you have this understanding and the discrimination, the ego will lose the sting. It will just be a donkey. It will do whatever you want. He is just there as an operative entity, that's all. Coordinating authority. Beyond that, it doesn't have a role to play in your life. Because you are already one with the being. You have got that, you are already having that understanding that my reality is the Purna Bhagavanoda ஐக்கியமா இருக்கிறது தான். மத் பரமா, மத் பக்தா, wherever மத்னு பகவான் சொல்றது is I, aham Brahma. அங்க போய் when you believe that, the ego part of it is only a role player. That's all. It will get downplayed and slowly it will vanish. அழையாத விருந்தாளி. So it's all you have to, because certain thing, what will happen is, because of our own lifestyle, we get we elevate our ego. நான் பண்றேன், நான் பண்ணல. Then automatically நான் பண்றேன், நான் பண்ணலங்கிற போது நான் என்ஜாய் பண்றேங்கிறதும் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா வந்துடும். கர்த்தா வேற பக்தா. So that we can't be just a bhokta without being a karta. It doesn't happen. So both have to be given way over a period of time. Then automatically the question of plus minus, all those, the evaluation of comfort, discomfort, everything, the opposites become mithya. Opposites na mithya, indication, immediate. Satyam means changeless. This will strike you straight away. Whenever there is an opposite feeling comes, you must downplay it, so that you get yourself out of mithya and be with Satyam.
Swamiji, it is very hard. We are sweating a lot, working in the kitchen, sweating a lot. At that time, you only want...
You just take it. This is how it is. You tried, you have done all your things. Like you have got an AC room, whatever and all. But still, certain situations, even so much of hot. Right now, here also it is very hot. Although I put an AC and all, it is hot. But I take it as part of it. This hour, it is okay. It is the way it is. Just take it. Don't give it a thought saying that I am fretting and fuming. That you put that word, you will suffer more. Don't do that. Just play it as a situation. Play it. Very important. And also very, very important that sometimes when you do even exercise and all that, when there may be certain postures and some asanas and all that, it will be very difficult. You love that difficulty. You stay with it. Embrace that pain. Actually, I tell you, if you embrace that pain, you are able to, you feel that you are not enduring it, becomes part of you. It is a beautiful way to look at it. Honestly, when you are doing exercise and all that, sometimes it pains. And that pain, you must stay with it. You should not try to get rid of it. Then it is no more a pain. It is part of your get-up. These are all small things. But so that the differentiation of that sukha, dukkha, all that you take it out of your words, that you take it out of your mind. It's only a temperature. There is no cold and hot.
Actually,
Advaita Padma, reality. Temperature is a reality. Cold and hot is your perception. That is what I am saying, the pratyayi to pratyaya. Like Indro Maya Bihi Pururupaha Iyate Pratyate. Like your I see, all those things is pratiti. But what I see is your pratyaya. You give a name. So your avidya starts. First is pratiti itself is Maya only. In the sense there is only one consciousness because you have given 5 pramanas, pancha pramana and air, vayu, pancha bhuta. So it looks like pancha. But that itself is only Maya. But thereafter you karta, bhokta, antakarana vritti, pratyaya. From pratyaya onwards, name and form. Onwards, your play starts, your role starts, vidya. So Maya and avidya, samsara. If you look at Maya, just Maya and stay with it, then it is only you are on the side of the Maya V. Then you can see the magic and enjoy it. You won't get subjected to Maya. Because of avidya, you get subjected to Maya. In the sense, we must bring in all those things, whatever has been told in the second chapter, all those things, but to keep on looking at it. Second chapter is the key. Want to get back there. Everything else is only how we all feel, how people feel. What Arjuna feels is how we feel also. That is why all these are support systems are given. Karma Yoga is a support system. But Jnana is the truth. In that there is no Sukham or Dukkham and all that. What is Sat is Sat, everything else is Asat. Asat means not existing at appearance. But where is the question of Sukham and Dukkham? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Om Swami.